So you want to have a new reality when it comes to money. You're in debt up to here. You have no idea what you spend on a monthly basis, and you're sick of your vague, airy-fairy, magical thinking. You're ready to make a fresh start. But you have no idea where to begin. You feel mired in the muck of your past financial story, making decisions that you really wish you hadn't made, regret, guilt, and resentment towards those who made choices that affected you financially that you had no control over. It feels, quite frankly, icky. So how do you get yourself out of the muck surrounding your financial story? How do you get a fresh start? In today's episode of Financial Freedom Friday, I'm going to give you a 3-step process to creating your own money love story so that starting today, you can have a romance with your finances. I'm Kate Northrup, author of Money, a Love Story. Untangle your financial woes and create the life you really want. We have this culture that believes the more we beat ourselves up, the better we'll be. The more we chastise ourselves for past decisions or even current decisions that we're making, the more we'll be likely to make better decisions in the future. There's this idea that suffering buys us something, that self-inflicted suffering is even better, and that no pain, no gain. But the truth is, beating ourselves up just makes us feel bad. And when we feel bad, we make bad choices. And the worse we feel, the less likely we'll be able to be to make lasting change in our life. So stop beating yourself up. One of the best things that my mom taught me growing up is that how you do it is what you get. So what that means is the energy and the emotion with which you do anything will deeply impact the results and how you feel about the results. So if you're out there trying to create a new financial future from a place of resentment, blame, guilt, and shame, guess what you're going to get? You're going to get this icky poo old mess of financial life that really doesn't feel that good. Here's the truth. You wouldn't be in the spot you are right now in your life without your past. So it's not about hating your past, it's about learning to embrace it and learning to see it as a love story. So here's the 3-step process to creating your own money love story. Step number 1, find 3 things that you appreciate about the abundance of your life right now. It could be that you have great, healthy kids. It could be that you have a best friend who you just absolutely treasure, who you love doing things with. It could be that you're an amazing chef and you grow vegetables in your garden and you love to cook them. It could be that you're a really great spin instructor. I don't know what it is, but find 3 things that you really appreciate, that you're in gratitude for about the abundance of your life right now, today. Step number 2, look back in your financial past for an event that you have some negative emotion around. Maybe it was a divorce, maybe something happened in a will where you didn't get as much money as you thought you were going to get, maybe you got laid off. Whatever it is, find that moment where there's some sticky emotional energy having to do with an event in your past emotional life. Number 3, connect the presence of abundance in your life right now, the things you're grateful for, to the fact that you couldn't be where you are today without every single one of the things that happened in your past. So for example, you've got this great, amazing relationship with your daughter. And in the past, you have resented your divorce and what happened to you financially. But some things happened after the divorce that allowed you and your daughter to grow closer. And if you really look back at it, you can see that you wouldn't have that close, amazing relationship with your daughter if you hadn't followed your heart and gotten divorced, even though it led to some emotional and financial upheaval. When we own our past from the perspective of it having led to everything in our present, all the good, juicy stuff that we appreciate, and when we know that none of those things that we enjoy today could have been possible without the things in our past, it makes it way easier to look at it as a love story. And any event can be viewed as a love story when we view it from eyes of love. That's why gratitude is such a powerful tool. So getting grateful for where we are today, connecting in with a past emotional, financial event that maybe we weren't so happy about in the moment, and seeing how that was part of the lily pads, jumping from lily pad to lily pad that brought us to this moment, is a very powerful exercise of reframing. Sometimes negative experiences are simply lessons in disguise. And without having learned those lessons, we never would be able to become the person we are today. So learn to appreciate the lessons. Sometimes people who have done us wrong are simply teachers dressed up as the bad guy. So learn to appreciate those teachers from your past and release that resentment and just get into gratitude for what they've taught you that's allowed you to be exactly where you are today. When we embrace experiences and people who were sent here as teachers for us, life gets way more fun. We begin to live in the land of technicolor adventure and discovery about ourselves and our lives and the world around us, as opposed to the woe is me land of victimhood where Eeyore lives, which kind of sucks. There's a great quote by Aldous Huxley that says, "Rolling around in the muck is not a good way to get clean." The same thing applies to our financial lives. Going back in time and retelling the same old stinky ass stories that are about regret and resentment and who done us wrong and how we screwed up and all that stuff just keeps us stinky and muddy and covered in ick. Instead, go back in time and tell your money story from the perspective of, if that hadn't happened and if this experience hadn't taught me this important lesson, I never would have been able to be where I am today, and I'm so grateful for that. An example from my own life, when my parents got divorced and I was in high school, it was really hard. There were a lot of things about it that didn't feel good at the time. But I now have an incredible relationship with my mom, an incredible relationship with my dad, and a way more conscious relationship with money than I ever would have had if they had stayed together and I hadn't gone through that experience. And I've been able to create a conscious, loving, romantic and business partnership with my fiance based on a lot of the lessons I learned going through that divorce process with my parents. And so I'm so grateful for that now, and it's a critical chapter in my money love story. So next time you find yourself telling that same old stinky story, which quite honestly you're probably bored of too, rewind and find the golden threads, the golden nuggets, and all of those lessons disguised as negative experiences that you've learned from and have gotten you to where you are today. When you tell your story from a perspective of love, and when you create your money love story from the past, it can only lead to a continuation of that love story moving forward. If you like this concept of telling your own money love story, go out and grab this book, Money, a Love Story, and the whole first chapter dives way deeper into this so you can get in there and work on it yourself and create your money love story. You can get it at moneyaLoveStory.com. And when you order the book, you'll get access to a 2-hour online event I'm doing called A Course in Having Enough. And I'll be joined by Marianne Williamson, Barbara Stanny, and Amanda Steinberg, founder of dailyworth.com. And we're going to teach you everything you need to know to wire yourself to have enough today and always. So go to moneyaLoveStory.com and grab your copy. And if you liked this video, share it with your friends, share it on social media, click like below, subscribe to this channel, and I will see you next time for Financial Freedom Friday.